what's the point of a brand strategy? Well, I think there are 6 big benefits that you can get by committing to a brand strategy. And the first is, it's for the whole organization. It's not just for the marketing team or the sales team or the HR team. It impacts the whole organization because it needs to represent the whole organization. I often think of the brand strategy as having this kind of dual purpose. Yes, it has to communicate your brand to your customers. But for me as a brand strategist, the most important audience is the team, is you, is the team responsible for communicating the brand to your customers. The duality of a brand strategy. The second big benefit is all around the notion of boosting your resources. You know, if everybody is aligned, if the whole team is going in the same direction, then of course it stands to reason that you're going to be more effective in your communications and you're going to be more efficient in how you use your resources. This direction gives your team accountability, because if your whole team is moving in the same direction, then you know what's on brand and what's off brand. The third big benefit is knowing where you are going. It's called brand vision. I often think of it as a destination. The useful thing about a destination is if you define it, then you'll know when you arrive. Of course, if you don't define your destination, how do you know when you get there? By defining a vision, 2 or 3 sentences in language that's very understandable, what that allows you to do is firstly to help your team move in the same direction. But most importantly, it gives you the opportunity to say, what do we have that's going to help us move towards this destination? What's going to help us achieve our vision, what I call your drivers? And what's going to slow us down? What are our barriers? And if we recognize our drivers, we can draw from them. And if we acknowledge our barriers, we can deal with them. The fourth big benefit of a brand strategy is it allows you to distill your true value. Yes, we've now got a direction that we're all headed in. We all share a common view of what the brand stands for. And that allows us to define our values. And the values deliver 2 very important things. The first is it acts as a benchmark for your team to know whether or not the planned activity is on brand. Does this meet our values? And secondly, it acts as a hallmark for your customers to recognize you by. The 5th benefit of a brand strategy is the process allows you to discover your key messages. More than that, in fact, it allows you to develop a hierarchy of your key messages. So you know what is the most important message. I call it the tyranny of the first. There's always going to be a first chart in the presentation, the first headline on a website. And it's very, very important that you know what your first message is and your second, third, fourth, and fifth. And a brand strategy helps you to develop that hierarchy. And that brings us to our last big benefit, which is around being relevant and different. You need to solve your customer's problem. And you do that by demonstrating your benefits. But you also need to be different. You need to be distinct. You need to be relevant and different. If you're just relevant, it means you're the same as everybody else. If you're just different, you won't have any customers. So the 6th big benefit of a brand strategy is it allows you to be relevant and different. So those are the 6 big benefits of a brand strategy.